All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about something that's already shaken up the world of education, generative AI. And look, this is way more than just a new app for the classroom. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we learn, how we teach, and maybe even what it means to know something in the first place. To really get the scale of what's happening, we got to put it in historical context. For thousands of years, every big media revolution was about storing and sharing knowledge better. Think about it, from cave paintings to the printing press, all the way to the internet. But now, we've just made a massive leap. We've gone from tech that just moves information around to machines that can actually create it from scratch. That's a whole new ballgame. And just like with the internet, the cat's out of the bag. AI is here to stay. Tools like ChatGPT became some of the fastest growing apps in history. So trying to ban them from schools? That's just not going to work. The real conversation, the one we need to have right now, is about how we bring these tools into the classroom the right way, effectively and ethically. So, to wrap our heads around this, we're going to use a classic educational cycle as our guide. It's a simple three-phase loop. First, we'll look at how we learn new stuff. Second, how we practice what we've learned. And finally, how we test that knowledge.
Okay, let's dive into phase one, learning. The goal here isn't just about cramming more information into our brains. It's about making that information stick, making it meaningful. And that whole process starts with what a student already has in their head.
And that brings us to a huge concept in education, prior knowledge. Put simply, everything you already know acts like a filter for new information. It literally determines what you pay attention to and how you make sense of it. It is, without a doubt, the single most important factor for learning something new. And this is exactly why the one-size-fits-all classroom can be such a struggle, right? A beginner, someone with low prior knowledge, they need information broken down into small, digestible pieces to just build a basic framework. But an expert, they need the opposite. They need messy, complex, real-world problems to chew on. And this is where the promise of AI really shines, its ability to figure out where a student is at and give them the exact right challenge at the exact right time. So once we've learned something, we have to practice it. But here's the thing, not all practice is created equal. That brings us to our second phase, deliberate practice. This isn't just mindless repetition. It's about focused, targeted effort that pushes you just a little bit outside your comfort zone. Because, well, that's where the magic happens. That's where you actually grow. So how can AI supercharge this? Well, think of it as the ultimate personal coach. First, it can diagnose what a student knows and where the gaps are. Then, it can generate a nearly infinite variety of practice problems, picking the perfect one for right now. It can even manage the timing, spacing out practice for better memory. And maybe the most important part, it gives immediate personalized feedback, so students don't get stuck spinning their wheels. But what kind of feedback are we talking about here? This quote really nails it. AI is great at the descriptive stuff, the structural things, like grammar, spelling, and formatting. The human teacher, on the other hand, can then focus on the deeper stuff, the actual quality of the ideas, the logic in the argument. You see, they're not competing. They're actually perfect partners. All right, let's move on to our final phase, better testing. Assessment is a huge deal. It has a massive influence on how and what students learn. And AI is set to totally transform it, bringing up some really exciting new possibilities, but also some pretty serious questions about cheating and academic integrity. And that leads us to the million-dollar question. We know AI can now write some pretty sophisticated essays, right? The kind that could easily pass for student work. So does that mean we can just flip it around and have AI grade all our student essays? Well, it's complicated. Let's just break this down. For something like multiple choice questions, AI grading is a slam dunk. It's fast, it's accurate, and it's been used for a while to create tests that adapt to you as you take them. But essays, that is a totally different beast. AI graders can be biased, they miss subtle nuances, and they completely lack that crucial mentoring component that a real human teacher provides. The risks are just too high. So, after going through learning, practice, and testing, a really clear picture starts to form. This isn't about AI replacing teachers. Not at all. It's about giving them superpowers. This is the new era of the human in the loop. And really, here's the bottom line. An AI can spit out a lesson plan or a quiz in seconds, but that content is basically worthless without a skilled teacher to look it over. It takes a human to check it for accuracy, to tweak it for their specific students, and to wrap it in a meaningful context. The teacher's job shifts from being a content delivery system to being an expert curator. This all points to our big takeaway concept, hybrid intelligence. This is not a story of humans versus machines.
The real future of education is a powerful collaboration, a partnership that combines the wisdom, empathy, and expertise of a human teacher with the raw computational power of AI.
Which leaves us with one final, really powerful question to think about. As AI starts handling more of the routine stuff, like grading and basic instruction, what does it actually mean to be a teacher? The role is changing. It's going to be less about just delivering information and so much more about mentoring, sparking curiosity, and fostering critical thought. In an age of AI tutors, the human teacher doesn't disappear. They become more important than ever.